We're Brian and Krista. I've been dealing with a sexual stronghold and pornography since before the age of 10. My father had magazines all over, and there were movies that he kept as well. A lot of it was a result from some sexual trauma that I experienced at 5 years old. Looking back, it was a way to isolate and kind of cope with the pain. Krista and I met in college in the dorms. We were both 18, fell in love and got married at 23. So when, we were getting married, I accepted Jesus and became a Christian. And I knew that, my past and that dark secret was nothing that I ever wanted to share.
Pretty early on in our relationship, I saw the person he wanted me to see and the person he really wanted to be. There was always, though, this depression that kind of lurked behind the surface. I started seeing more of the depression, but still didn't really understand where the source of it was.
When this sexual stronghold took over my life, I really felt like I didn't need God's rules. What I needed was my own rules. I ended up being so lost that I was running for this isolation. I got an apartment I couldn't afford. I was living out of my car and in budget motels thinking, oh, this is the freedom. This is what I wanted. And it was the darkest, most depressed I've ever been.
When everything first came to light, it was earth-shattering, I would say, for me. The one thing that was very immediately clear to me was that this was really a spiritual battle. And all I can say is the Holy Spirit guided completely through that. I was able to love him in a period of time that he was truly lashing out.
I was dumbfounded by her response because it was not what was expected at all. I don't remember what was, the turning point, but I remember, Krista telling me that this was a spiritual battle, and I had this glimpse of, I think she might be right. It's like I couldn't even trust myself at the time. And that process of learning how to surrender was very difficult. I had to join a sexual addiction group. I have a great men's group that I'm with now. I have, a therapist that helps me, of course, my family. I know that the isolation is the quickest path to that sin again. A lot of the work that I've been doing has been trying to heal and understand what that childhood trauma has done to me. It was sadly just embarrassing isn't the right word, but it's something that I didn't want anyone to know about, especially Krista. And when Krista was able to respond with love, even at my worst, it was just so amazing.
It's such a difficult process, but when you really allow God into those ugly places and into the scary places and the places that you don't even really want people to know exist, either in your life or in your own head or heart, he does amazing things. Brian, I knew, the kind of depressed, under the surface guy, he doesn't really exist anymore. A very common way of talking about him was he was just grumpy. It was like just kind of this, it was a term of endearment, but also kind of how he just carried himself. And now, there's a marked difference. Our kids see it. The people that knew him then and know him now see a difference in him. It's just, there's a light inside of him that kind of was dull for a long time, but is not anymore.
I feel happy. I feel more in touch with my relationship with Jesus. I really feel blessed that I was given another opportunity. The freedom I feel today versus the freedom that I lied to myself about years ago, it is completely 180 degrees different. I thought that freedom was whatever I wanted to do and live by my own rules, and it was awful. It was very sad, and it is, quite amazing to look back and see, why would I have wanted that?